Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it is time for my client Brett's vlogs. And here's the thing with Brett. You guys will notice on the dates, this one got slid way down. It's taken him sometimes like 10, 11 days sometimes to complete these 4-day training things, and part of it is because he gets really busy, has emergencies come up, and his business life and investments and things. And the other thing is that he's been working on doing daily cardio because he knows his conditioning sucks right now. So he's been doing cardio every day, and then it gets in the way of his training time and other stuff comes up. Now, we're going to take him to a 3-day template, a squat, bench, deadlift, because he and I talked about it. He's like, look, Isaac's making great progress doing that. You're switching over to that. What's the minimum I can get away with? And then this way I don't deal with as much DOMs. I don't deal with these things, and I can train 3 days a week, which seems to be about what I end up doing. And here's the funny thing. He hit everything on this week on 3+ sets. Everything was 7 to 9 reps. He got like 9 on his bench, 8 on the squat, 8 on the overhead press, 7 on the deadlift. All right, 470 for 7 on his deadlift. Okay, that means we know his max is going up. Because right when we started all this templates, we got him right back up to a 550 again. Keep in mind, he's been over a 600-pound puller on Team Blaha before. And here's the thing. While still spreading his weekly workout to like 10 days instead of 7, he is still rebuilding, getting stronger. Amrit's doing the same thing. You guys notice that? Amrit, because of his business, keeps having to spread them further and further, which you saw in his vlogs. Yet he's, not quite as advanced as Brett. Never had a 600+ pound deadlift. What do these things have in common? They both end up training sometimes 3 or less times per week. Yet on the good programming, they just keep making progress. So what does this tell us? That maybe it isn't necessary to train more than 3 days a week. Because these guys are getting bigger and stronger consistently. Really only training 3 days a week. And this is 3 of my vloggers, guys. 2 of them are on 4-day templates, and they're so busy, making money and dealing with other stuff, they can't always get the 4th day in and have to slide it down. And then you got Isaac, who just keeps excelling on a 3-day program. So again, keeping in mind, a lot of the world level powerlifters who are monstrously big train 3 days a week also. So he and I talked about it, and you'll see what happens with the next template. He's like, what's the minimum I could do and still continue to make this sort of progress to make it work with my lifestyle? And so I wrote him a template, which you guys will see next time. But let's get over to this training. Great week. Great week. You guys can calculate the stuff because you can see this is 90% training max. As I always put the training maxes below. And, again, 9 on the bench, 8 on the squat, 8 on the press. And we're going to pull the press out for him. I don't think my guys need the press. I think my guys can build what they need off bench and bench accessories. And I love the press in certain ways. But, for people who have limited recovery, everything else, we're going to train 3 days a week. I don't know that we need the press at all. Particularly guys like Brett. Brett prefers to bench close grip. It's always felt better for his shoulder. He's a close grip bencher. Why can't we just do that? Why can't we add, a little bit of pec and tricep work and just close grip bench? But if you guys see what his accessories look like, he didn't do all the accessory work on bench day. I think he again ran out of time, but he was supposed to do pull-ups. He did them. He just didn't record it. He's supposed to do pull-ups, curls, tricep band press downs. His squat day, he squats, does belt squats, and he does abs. Okay, overhead press. Again, knocked it out. Serious pause reps. But again, his close grip is going up too. And what do I tell people? You get a strong close grip bench and you build your upper back a bit. If you want to come in and test your press, it's going to be strong. I've had clients who press over 200 pounds who don't train the press. We just came in and tested it every now and then when they're running conjugate and stuff, who have, good benches. and they press over 200 pounds, you know, which is, unless you're going to compete in the press, if you can press over 200 pounds as a grown man without practicing it, your overhead press is plenty strong. You can do that, just show off any time. It's not a competitive lift. Like, no one's going to care what your press is, though. Because even in strength lifting, they don't do a strict press. They do a push press that uses the hips instead of the quads, so it's not really a press. And that's the only competitive version. That's the only sport that judges it. Till we get to strongman, but they do reps like the continental press and stuff like that. All right, so here we go with accessories this time. He showed it all on his press day. So we do pull-ups. He does barbell curls with a full range of motion, and then I've got him doing band press downs. Now, again, this comes up too. Brett's got decently sized arms. Watch the way he does the curls. Watch the way I have Isaac do curls. All right, a lot of people have asked that, and I'm like, this is the correct way to do a curl. This is why barbell curls score so well on EMGs. That's why chin-ups, barbell curls, barbell. And then behind it, neutral grip pull-ups are the best exercises. You're turning it into a multi-joint exercise. You know, people want to try to do single joint stuff for muscles that have more than one function. And the bicep is as simple as it gets, but it has two functions, and one of the heads isn't fully recruited without that movement of the shoulder. So keep that in mind. Now, the only thing that I have people do where we keep it fairly single joint are the band press downs, because we're trying to work tendons, right? We're mainly concerned with those tendons, and you don't get the best stretch at the top anyway, so getting that extra shoulder movement's not really helpful. So again, this is probably one of the few exceptions, but again, triceps, and all my guys need triceps, unless they're very tricep dominant from benching, and I've got some clients like that who have big triceps, 300 plus pound benches, who don't do tricep work, and they have big monstrous triceps, but there's just a genetic structural component to that. So, you know, what is it that we're doing here with those curls? We're turning it into a multi-joint exercise. And then if we're going to do tricep work other than the bands, I like to see that shoulder movement. Let's turn it into a multi-joint movement. And we take them through, you know, a good range of motion. So if we're going to do smaller exercises, we need range of motion. We need to make them multi-joint, so they're not single joint movements anymore. And let's get over the deadlifts. All right, his real set, 470 times 7. We're getting back up there. Throw that in a calculator, we know we're at least a 575 deadlift again. We're going to get him back up to, you know, 600 real quick. Of course, I want him to do it without straps, but he has done it without straps. So he's been strapping up for a lot of this because, again, he does not want to tear his hands up and stuff. But we need to get over to where soon he pulls those straps off, because grip is everything. But his pull-ups tell us his grip is pretty much on point. All right, I feel like pull-ups themselves, doing lots of pull-ups, will largely develop your grip. But I usually like to see my guys do their heavier deadlifts without straps, and then they can strap up for volume work, again, just to save the hands, and then let the pull-ups and dead hangs build their grip. And that's how I personally like to do it. And I myself have smaller hands, so I have to have some grip work. But I feel pull-ups and dead hangs sort it real well. To some extent, you know, you could do weighted carries if you need to for your GPP, and that will help a lot of guys. But that was 470 for 7. We're doing good. But again, he's been working on his conditioning a lot. So again, his rep work's getting better. So then we do his 5x10 back off work, and then he finishes up with glute ham raises. And I think we're going to probably move his GHRs to his leg day coming up, right? Because he's going to have a squat, bench, and deadlift day. And we'll continue to see him accelerate and make this sort of progress, right? So his deadlift day is, you know, we ramp to the peak set, 5x10 deadlift, then 5 sets of glute ham raises. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.